Today on Artist on Record, we remember the legendary John Sykes, who just passed away. Today we're going to explore the incredible story behind Blue Murder, a band that emerged from one of rock's biggest shakeups. And how did John Sykes, after his dramatic exit from Whitesnake, assemble the powerhouse group featuring Carmine Appice, who is with us to talk also with Bob Daisley, legendary bassist of Ozzy Osbourne. Today, we uncover the world of Blue Murder and the legacy of John Sykes. It all starts now. Don't touch that dial.
When you mentioned Blue Murder and Sykes, that was when Sykes got ousted from Whitesnake, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he put together the band. How did that whole band form, Blue Murder?
Well, I went through a lot of sequences. He had Cozy Powell originally, and Ray. What's Ray?
Ray Gillen?
Ray Gillen. Yeah, Ray Gillen was the original
Was
singer.
that your band, Carmine? Did you put that together from scratch?
No. John Sykes put it together.
Oh, it was John Sykes.
And they had Tony Franklin. So I love Tony Franklin, and I love John Sykes.
Yeah.
And Cozy was in it first. And I said, freaking Cozy gets all these good gigs, you know? And then I heard that it broke up. Cozy left and Ray Gillen was gone. And I said, man, I want to play with those guys. So I said, how should I get in this? I went to England when my brother Vinny was playing 4 nights at Hammersmith Odeon with Dio. I said, somebody there is going to know how to get a hold of Sykes, right? And sure enough, Chris Wells from Melody Maker gave me John Sykes' stepdad's phone number. He was part of the new management team for Sykes. It really didn't work out too great. And so I called him and I said, look, I'm in England. I'd love to check out working with John and Tony. They said, come on down. I had to rent a car and I drove down. I remember specifically, I had one tape to listen to. It was the Aerosmith, anyway, Permanent Vacation. My wife just yelled at me. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing I listened to all the way down and back. And when I got there, it was 2 in the morning. Tony Franklin met me and immediately broke into the bar. Right? We had a drink. And the next day, went to the studio. John had a studio in the house, and there was Cozy's drum set still there. So I played on Cozy's drums and played together. And we smoked a little hash first.
Right.
And then we kicked ass. It was so good. And John came up to me and said, man, Cozy has 3 or 4 riffs, drum fills. You got so many drum fills. He says, I couldn't even count them. And I said, yeah, because I'm a studied guy. I know what I'm doing. You know? And it was just like magic, the 3 of us together. But then when we did he had a huge budget. We went over budget, and we got Bob Rock to do it. By the time John would rehearse with Cozy and Gillen in an old church. He brought in a PA system and lights and all that shit to rehearse.
Yeah.
Now, Bob,
what happened with Cozy then?
Hey? Yeah.
What happened with Cozy then?
I don't know. He got fired. So, anyway, then when the album sold a couple of 100,000 copies, it went up to number 50 on the charts. But in those days, everybody was selling 5 million, 10 million. The Whitesnake album, right after John got fired, they asked me to do that album, and I had King Cobra to do it. You can't just jump ship when you're signed to a label. So I said, I got my own snake to deal with. I recommended Ainsley, and they got Ainsley, and they sold 27 million albums. I could have went.
Is Ainsley on that album?
Who?
Ainsley. Is he on that album?
Yeah, Ainsley's on that album, yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Ainsley's on. He made like a
Great drummer.
I heard he made $500,000 on that record.
Did he really?
Yeah, for royalty, they gave him a piece of
I've always loved Ainsley's playing. He's a great drummer.
I thought Ainsley was great. Went on, and when the first album failed, and John went into not a depression, but he was bummed out. We were all bummed out because I would have, that album was so good. I would have bet my house that it was going to go top 10 because it had everything. Good songwriting. We had good production. We had John Kolodner. We had Geffen Records. We had everything but the right manager.
But it was Kalana that didn't like Ray Gillen's vocals, according to
I
the
don't
internet.
remember. I don't remember that. It
It's
might have
crazy.
been. Might have
Wow.
been. And then me and Tony forced John to sing because we went through every singer in LA. We went through Derek St. Holmes and this one, even Mark Free from King Cobra. And like you did with the drummers, Bob, with Ozzy, we went through singers. And
Right.
finally, me and Tony said, why don't you sing, John? You got the deal on your vocal. Why don't you sing? And we'll be like the Cream, a trio, and we'll do background and you do the lead.
Well, he's a good singer, John
Yeah,
Sykes.
but I know, but he never realized that he was a good singer because he never
You've
really
got a
sang.
good voice for backups and stuff too.
He did good backups, but he never sang the lead, So we forced him to do lead, and he did a tremendous job. And we had a
Right.
keyboard player, so we always called it the trio with depth. The keys gave us a little bit of chords from the synths and everything. But it was a great, great band. I remember we went to Japan. We did 12,000 people in Tokyo. And, Burn Magazine was the big magazine there. And they did a special
I
on
remember
the
Burn
greatest
Magazine,
rock
yeah.
trios of all time. And they had
Right.
BBA, which I was in, BBA, The Cream,
Yeah.
West Bruce and Lang, Hendrix, and Blue
But-
Murder. So I
Yeah.
was in two of them. I showed that to John. I go, hey, how about this, dude? I'm in BBA and Blue Murder.
Uh-huh.
Were you guys
Good times.
supporting Bon Jovi and Squire?
We did about 8 gigs with Bon Jovi, and we went overboard. We had 2 buses, we had 8 roadies, But what's good about it, we were a jam band kind of, We were like a BBA, like a '70s band,
Mm-hmm.
and it was happening. It was working in front of a Bon Jovi crowd, which were a lot of women, But they liked it because the band was good looking, And Sykes was singing great, and he always wore these crisscross suspenders and no shirt, and it was great, And then the album just didn't happen.
Online that they were saying that because it was on Geffen Records and they were trying to get him back in Whitesnake or whatever it was. He felt like he wasn't getting the right push, but that's nonsense.
I don't know. I mean, they paid a lot of money for that record, and I don't think they just would have blown that record to get him back in Whitesnake.
Yeah.
And there's no way he was going to go back in Whitesnake. He was really pissed off at Coverdale, I guess, for firing him. I don't blame him. John was like the backbone of that band, songwriting and guitar playing. I mean, his guitar playing was fantastic.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
an amazing
he's
guitarist.
So
still
made me
playing.
want to play with
Great
Blue
player,
Murder. Tony Franklin on the Firm record playing that fretless bass.
Yeah.
And John Sykes. I said, man, I want to play in that band.
Hot players.
And it was great. It was a great band. We had a good time. We never, John, after the album didn't do what it was supposed to do, the band was like shaky.
Check out our members only club. You can catch all these episodes unedited and join the conversation live when we speak with your favorite artist. It supports the channel. It supports the fun. Your donations helps us keep going. In the meantime, click on your screen for our next episode. Subscribe. Hit that notifications tab. And as always, who loves you, baby? We do. Thanks for watching.